Imagine you're the very first human, not the first baby, the first adult. There are no parents to explain anything. No schools, no books, no doctors, no language to ask questions. You don't know where babies come from. You don't know what your body is designed to do. You don't even know what reproduction means. Yet somehow, your species survived generation after generation, which raises one of the strangest questions in human history. Who taught the first humans how to have children? At first, the answer seems obvious: instinct. But if it's really that simple, why are humans so different from almost every other animal? A deer doesn't need lessons. A wolf doesn't need instructions. A chimpanzee doesn't watch older chimpanzees to understand reproduction. They simply know. So, did humans also just know? Or is there something much stranger hidden inside our evolution? To answer that, we have to go back, not thousands of years, not hundreds of thousands, but millions, long before there were humans, long before there were villages, or fire, or even stone tools. Because the answer didn't begin with us. It began with life itself. Around 540 million years ago, the Earth looked completely different. There were no birds, no mammals, no dinosaurs, only strange creatures swimming through ancient oceans. Some reproduced by simply dividing. One became two, two became four. No partners, no families, no attraction, just copies of themselves. It was simple. But evolution found a better idea. Instead of creating identical copies, why not mix genes together? The process became slower, more difficult, much riskier. But it created something priceless: variation. Every new generation became a little different. Some were faster, some stronger. Some survived when everyone else died. And little by little, natural selection began rewarding one thing above everything else: those who successfully reproduced. Think about that for a second. Every single one of your ancestors, going back millions of years, managed to have children. If just one of them failed, you would never exist. You are the result of an unbroken chain of successful reproduction. What reproduction is, evolution did something far more clever. It built the instructions directly into the brain, not as thoughts, not as words, but as instincts, an invisible force that pushes animals toward behaviors they've never learned. A baby turtle has never seen the ocean before. Yet moments after hatching, it walks straight toward the sea. Who taught it? Nobody. A spider has never taken an engineering class, yet it builds a perfect web. Who taught it? Nobody. Birds cross entire continents without maps. Salmon return to the exact river where they were born. No teacher, no guide, no instructions, only instinct. So, does that mean the first humans simply followed instinct too? The answer is yes, but also no, because humans are unlike every other animal. And that's where our story takes a completely unexpected turn. So, if instinct already existed, why are humans so different? Because unlike most animals, humans don't rely on instinct alone. Imagine you were born completely alone. No parents, no tribe, no one to teach you. Would you survive? Probably not. A baby horse can stand within an hour. A baby deer can run the same day. A newborn human? It can't even hold up its own head. Compared to other animals, human babies are incredibly helpless, and that's not a mistake. It's one of evolution's greatest inventions. Instead of being born with every instinct already programmed, humans are born with something far more powerful: a brain designed to learn. That's why our childhood is unusually long. While other animals learn for weeks, humans learn for years. Everything from walking to speaking to making tools must be discovered, including relationships. This is where many people become confused. Reproduction itself is driven by instinct, but almost everything around it is learned. How to find a partner, how to communicate, how to build trust, how to raise children. Those things aren't written into our DNA. They're passed from one generation to the next, long before written language. Early humans watched each other. Children observed older members of the group. They copied behaviors, expressions, emotions, family life. Without realizing it, they were learning how humans lived, not through lessons, but through observation. Scientists believe our ancestors were extraordinary imitators. One person invented something useful. Others copied it. Fire, stone tools, hunting, shelters. The same thing happened with social behavior. Humans became experts at learning from other humans. But here's the strange part. Even if no one explained reproduction, puberty would eventually arrive. The body would begin changing. Hormones would take over. Feelings that never existed before would suddenly appear. Curiosity, attraction, desire. Nobody needed to invent them. Evolution had already done that millions of years earlier. The brain was simply waiting for the right moment to switch them on. So no, the first humans didn't wake up one day and magically understand everything. Their instincts guided them. Their curiosity helped them. And their ability to learn filled in the rest. But that still leaves one enormous mystery. If reproduction was only about having children, why did humans create something almost no other animal has? Love. And that's where our story becomes even stranger. So, if reproduction was driven by instinct, where did love come from? Because love doesn't seem very useful. It makes people take risks, make sacrifices, wait for one person. From an evolutionary perspective, that sounds like a terrible idea, unless love was never about romance. Imagine a newborn human 100,000 years ago. Unlike a baby deer, it couldn't run. Unlike a baby monkey, it couldn't even hold on by itself. Without constant care, it would die. Not after months, sometimes after only days, which meant human parents faced a problem no other species had ever faced. One parent wasn't enough. The child needed protection, food, warmth. For years, not weeks, years. Scientists believe this changed everything. Instead of meeting only to reproduce, men and women began staying together for longer. Not because someone invented marriage, but because their children had a better chance of surviving. Those families produced more children. Those children grew up and had families of their own. Generation after generation, natural selection favored stronger bonds. Slowly, attachment became part of being human. Not just attraction, connection, trust, care, and eventually, what we now call love. Of course, love isn't unique to humans. Wolves form strong pairs. Swans often stay together for life. Even some monkeys comfort each other after losing a partner. But humans took it to another level. We wrote poems. We created weddings. We made promises. We built entire civilizations around families. Something that began as a biological strategy became one of the strongest emotions our species has ever known. So, who taught the first humans how to reproduce? The answer is no one. Their bodies already carried millions of years of evolutionary programming. Instinct started the process. Curiosity guided them. Learning shaped their behavior, and culture transformed it into something far greater than reproduction alone. So the next time someone asks who taught the first humans how to have children, remember this. The lesson was never written in a book. It wasn't spoken by a teacher. It wasn't discovered by a scientist. It had already been written inside every living creature long before the first human ever walked the earth. And perhaps that's the strangest part of all. Some of the most important things we have ever known or never taught. We were simply born with them.